Hey fellas, Rusty coming at you, and today we're going to be taking a look at a pretty cool knife. This knife is a Case Canoe in rough black synthetic. So sometimes you'll just see rough black, and that is basically the Delrin that's jigged. That's the rough. Rough is in textured. So it's jigged Delrin, and this is a Canoe. So that's model number 62131. Actually, probably should be 22. I think black Delrin is a 2, yellow is a 3, maybe black is a 4. Help me out. But for whatever reason, this one's a 62. There's a peek at the rough black. This one has good build. It's hard to believe that there's 2 springs in there. Let's see if we can. Yeah, man, that's a great build. All right, so I got this knife off of Case Knives Outlet, Knife Outlet. I want to say .com. And I talked to the owner down there. He's been doing this for 40 years. That's buying and selling Case knives. We're looking at the Case oval script here. And how does he get to have a knife that's still 10 years old? I've bought knives brand new from him that are more than 10 years old. Well, just like he said, volume. He's got 100,000 knives down there he's had. So when he buys these, if maybe another dealer would have just bought 50 and he buys 100, I'm just guesstimating. Well, pretty soon people lose interest. And then as time goes on, he still has some left. And the nice thing about Case knives, I paid $59 for this. And in 2014, I bet you he was retailing these, I'm going to guess, like $39. But he can hold on to it, and he can still sell it brand new for kind of the going rate. So his knives, I have found them. They are, what do you want to call? The prices reflect more of the secondary market. So whatever. And I see stuff quite a bit that maybe I'll go find it. If you were to Google this item number, maybe you'll find it's out of stock and we'll sell them for, $39. I'm just making that number up, but I've done that with some other knives of his. So it's a nice pen blade. That's what a Canoe's going to have, is a spear point and a pen blade. So that's how we're looking here. The springs on this are okay. I can definitely tell it just needs to be opened and closed some more. So that's your spear point, and it does what we call cants down. And that's if I hold the handle here, the blade goes down, which gives the ability to cut. You get more use of that belly. I find the Canoe pattern to be comfortable in ergos. We have this kind of a spot to put one finger. We have another spot to move your index finger right in here. And then we can kind of get up on top, and that blade again turns down. And so whatever you're cutting, it kind of traps it in there. So it's nice. Got enough of a point to do some utility type cutting. Ooh, this one feels sharp. There's a look at the minor. Mirrored polished blade. And still, this is a tang stamp. And let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2014. So when you go to close the Canoe, what you have is 2 springs, a blade for each of them, and then you you know, we're going to, sometimes we run the risk of, like other knives, blade rub. Let's see, yeah, you can see right up here. We'll see where that comes back, how that gets down. So there we go. We'll close that. Finish opening that. Pen blade, same thing. This blade makes a nice spot for your index finger to pinch and hold, and then we come, and it also kind of cants down. So let's get this open with the main blade. Put that out here, and we got a couple comparison knives. Let's do, what do you guys want to see first? Let's do case to case. All right, there's my case Canoe. Here's a case. You can still get these. Sodbuster in rough black. And I bought this just kind of to try the Sodbuster. I paid $37 for this off of Amazon. So way back when, one of my first Sodbusters, I got one in this, and the gray candle jig, which is carbon steel. So that's your rough black. It is a little chunkier than a bone Sodbuster is. So, but that's this material, and this is how, I guess we'll call it, you know, the differences. If you like, we got a drop point blade, we got a spear point. You can see how the one cants down. This one doesn't. It's straight out. Just shoot straight out. And this one will shoot. It'll shoot down if you hold it like that. So, okay. Let's do one with Rough Rider. Rough Rider in, what shall we say? Well, this is micarta. So I brought these out because this is kind of along the lines of a workish style knife. I guess all your case knives you can use, but this is one where you're not going to break the bone. This, by the way, I give you this. There's a term called gum fuddy. It came around in about in the World War II. And what happened when they were making knives is materials became scarce. Wood and bone, they were busy making bullets. They didn't, but Delrin, synthetic, they didn't have to go and find it. You know, you don't have to go in there and chop a wood, something down a tree. And anyway, somewhere along the line, they came up with a term called a gum fuddy knife, and that would be this man-made or synthetic material. So here's our Rough Rider from the Carbon Classic 2 series and the case. Now, the Rough Rider actually has T10 steel versus case Tru-Sharp, and just some nice swedging, a nice nail neck. I have patinaed this. I have sharpened this. It gets smoking sharp, and it's got a thin, it comes down nice and thin here. It's a flat ground blade. So what do we got here? Ooh, I don't know. It might get I like the Rough Rider blade better. It's more pointy. Okay. The Rough Rider, I believe, is a heavier duty knife. You can see it has heavier springs, heavier blade stock. It's heavier in the hand. Very similar with, you can move that second finger right there. I like this one, guys, and these were like 15 bucks. We have half stops, and we come over here. This one was a monster when I first got it to pull. It was a nail breaker. You can see it's getting better. Also half stops. But yeah, just work it. And no half stops. That's one thing. As you get knives with half stop versus no half stop, one thing, I don't know if you saw me there, you just kind of, I guess at some point you just realize there's no half stop. And when you get doing this for a while, you'll just notice, hey, and I kind of like that. If you just notice how there's no stop. Okay, I just go and we're open. So, okay, and we want to, but I do like this. It's just kind of fun. And that's world class, guys. I have Queen knives, Shot & Morgan knives, GEC knives, and the action on that. Oh, satisfying, satisfying. It's a freaking $200 action. Beautiful. Take a peek what we're looking at here. We got the micarta and the shields. Under this micarta, we got blue G10. We'll take a look at the overall build. Like I said, this Rough Rider is more heavy duty. You can see the size of the springs. It's built really well. It does have more gaps than the case. So, but this would work just fine, and I believe that that's going to hold up. You know, you can work it hard. All right, what else? We'll do one last one. So you guys might not have any of the knives be familiar with, but this is the Crandall Gray Jig I was talking about earlier, which I actually was my first bone sod buster. So here's their Barlow, and we'll see how that stacks up in terms of length, in terms of, you know, we got a clip point here, which allows for some nice utility type. We have a half stop. And then over here, the pen blade comes out of the same side. No half stop. Pen blade. So we'll try to go cutting edge to cutting edge. And that's the pen blade on the Barlow. And you can see on the Canoe how we have that curvature. Wants to, you know, knock her, take her down. And hey, this is a long video. I better get off. So, all right, guys. Thanks for joining me. Apologize for the long video. Bye now. And here's a look at the box it came in. It's called what I call a flag box, a case flag box. You can kind of see why. Now I did buy this knife brand new. It would be called a new old stock. There's the item number. There's the pattern number. 62131 is a Canoe, and it is rough black. It was built 5/17/14. So when I bought this knife, it was already 10 years old, brand new. So, of course, I've already unboxed it and unwrapped it and all that good stuff. Thanks, guys.